You can get more done in just 2 hours of work than most people otherwise would in 8, 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days, using this one very, very simple question that you can ask yourself. So I was just reading a book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, and he went on to explain that most people can get more work done by working less rather than working more. And it's due to a principle, actually due to a law called Pareto's Law, which, if you don't know what Pareto's Law is, it's also known as the 80-20 principle, which simply states that you, typically speaking, 80% of the outputs, 80% of the things that we get typically come from 20% of the inputs, meaning that most of the things we get come from the actual little things that we do. And so you could look at this in any part of your life, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's personal development or your business, etc. Typically, most of the results you get come from just 20% of the work. And so went on to explain this concept even further into how you could apply it into your own life using one simple question I'll share with you that you can ask yourself so you can get more done while actually working less. Because what happens is when we work less, when we confine ourselves to a certain allotment of time and work with just a certain confined time constraint, we tend to put more energy, effort, and focus into that one block of time. And so what happens, instead of, working for 8, 10, 12, 14 hours, but only really working for, maybe 40 focused minutes because we check our Slack, and then we check our Discord, and then we check our email, and then someone calls us, and then, we have a meeting here, and then that meeting runs late, and then this and that and this and that. We put all of our energy, our focus, and our attention onto one specific project, and the one project that is responsible for most of the needle moving tasks, right? For most of the outputs that we get. And so if you want to be able to work less while actually getting more done, to be more productive, be more efficient, because productivity is not defined as doing more, is doing more with less of your time. That is real productivity. You could ask yourself this one simple question. And the one simple question is, if you had a heart attack today, if you had a heart attack and the doctor said that, hey, you can only work on your business for just 2 hours per day, only 2, and you had to block off those 2 hours, what would you work on? What task would you do? Would you work on servicing clients? Would you work on attracting new clients? Would you post YouTube videos? Would you go out there and meditate? What would you do if you only had 2 hours per day to work on your business? And sit there and think. Don't just answer right away. Sit there and truly think, if I only had 2 hours per day, what would I spend all my time, energy, effort, and resources on? What would I do? And the answer that you give yourself is typically the one thing that is responsible for most of the results in your business. And if you just focus all of your energy, efforts, and attention and resources on that one particular subject, you will get more done in 2 hours of work than most people can get done in an entire day by actually working less. And you can take this concept to even further extremes. You can talk about essentialism and minimalism and doing less, because when we do less, we free up our mind to think more. And so therefore, when we are working, we can actually have more attention and more detail to the things we do. You can take it a step further and ask yourself, if I only had 2 hours per week, what would I spend my time on? What would I do if I only could work for 2 hours per week? Take it another step further. Ask yourself those questions and ask yourself, what is truly responsible? What is the 20% of the work you do that's truly responsible for 80% of the results you get? And how can you work less but get more done? Ask yourself that question and see how quickly your life can change by simply working less and subtracting. Because oftentimes, it's not that we need to add more to our lives. It's that we actually need to take more away. Be more disciplined, be more refined, be more restricted with the things we do so we can focus more on what matters. Because we live in a day and age where it's not about finding the highest priorities or the best, most highest leverage things to do. As a matter of fact, most people don't even struggle to find high leverage activities to do. What they struggle is to differentiate between all the high leverage activities and find out which one is truly the best one to do. And so in this day and age, it's about doing less, not about doing more. It's about removing, it's about subtracting, it's about taking away, so you're capable of doing more by focusing more on the things that matter. If you like this video, I've linked the video down below. I know you'll love. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.